Greetings from the right coast. This is Mad Shad, and yes, I am mad. I missed the live. Prepper outside the box. All you guys that watch, I do apologize. Sometimes Murphy shows his face. And he comes a calling. Sometimes the Wi-Fi here is sketchy. I mean, there's so many people on Wi-Fi around here, and it just. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. So, I usually have best luck in the mornings. But what I did do is I wrote down all the questions and all the scenarios. So, this is a just in case kind of thing. I know that Josh had said that we could try to reconnect Monday. I do apologize that I wasn't able to be a part of this, and I know that everybody was very, very curious to see what I think about these scenarios, and so hey, let's get into it there, shall we? So scenario one was you're en route to your bug out location and you encounter a uniformed checkpoint. So if I'm en route to my bug out location, say it's shift event, you have to ask yourself, why is there a checkpoint? What is the purpose of this checkpoint? If it's a shift event, be it situation dictates. So if it's something natural disaster or something of that nature, maybe it's a safety issue. Hey, don't go over here. Maybe that's why the checkpoint is there. And first and foremost, you're gonna be in line. If you see a line, you already know, okay, there's a checkpoint, there's a stop in the road. So that's when you need to get out. And people are probably going to be getting out and going, what the fuck? Why are we not moving? There's a hurricane coming and we got to go. Around here, there's no checkpoints. When there's a hurricane, they open up the roads and people just go. It sucks because they go down the main 4-lane highway at like 5 miles an hour because 50,000 people are trying to leave. So, and they won't allow you to turn left or turn right. They take you from the Grand Strand, Myrtle Beach, all the way to Columbia. That's what they did last time. Thank you, Nikki Haley. I didn't leave. So most scenarios of that nature, I won't leave. I'm not going to leave. But let's go with this scenario. I'm in the. I see it. First and foremost, so scenarios and caveats of the scenario. Say I'm stuck in line. I'm stuck in traffic, and I'm going to get out and I'm going to look and I'm going to see. I'm going to investigate. I'm going to gather intel. Are they stopping folks? Are they searching? Are they just talking to folks? Are they saying, look, chill out? I mean, is it a safety issue, or what they call here a safety check? Or is it actually something nefarious? So before you get to understand the nature of a checkpoint, man, I could do a whole video on checkpoints. There's going to be elements before the checkpoint. They're going to have their LPOPs, their listening and observation. They're going to have their eyes and ears out. So and you see that with all checkpoints, especially police checkpoints and DUI checkpoints, which are unconstitutional, by the way. Yes, that's right. I don't play them. I don't do those. I turn around. And what happens when you turn around? You get chased. There's somebody sitting off in the woods, and as soon as you turn around, they go, and they follow you and they pull you over and they harass you. Because they couldn't harass you at the checkpoint. the safety check, whatever. Anyway, that's I'm not going to get into that. That's you can if you deem that the checkpoint is just something stupid and you're in line with everybody else, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I would go right through it. As long as your papers are in order and you've got all your stuff with you, you're bugging out with everybody else, then they're probably just going to go, okay, bye. Have a nice day. If it's and I don't know why it would be an issue for anyone to not go through the checkpoint if it's legit. Why there would be a checkpoint during that situation, then I don't know. Around here, it happens all the time. You will turn the corner and boom, you're right into a checkpoint. DUI checkpoint. I turn on the lights. I roll down the windows. I put my hands on the steering wheel. I give them my license and registration. And yes, I'm carrying guns. I don't say nothing. I'm not carrying concealed either. They don't have the right to ask me those questions. And I don't have the right to answer them. So all they know is I'm annoyed and I want to go. I sit there. Now, if they ask you, can we search your vehicle? No, I don't consent to searches. No, thank you. Can I go now? Can I go now? Can I go now? Most checkpoints they're not really that secure. If you run from them, they're going to chase you. That's their only recourse. It's not a real DUI checkpoints and things of that nature. It's not really a physical barrier. If there is, then you know it's serious. And I would suggest turning around. And if you get pulled over, you're like, fuck you, I'm leaving. I'm not sitting in line for this. I've got ice cream in the trunk. I just came from the store. I gotta poop. I'm not waiting here. Fuck you. Yeah. Well, be nice until you don't have to be. So, understanding that situation, and I have been in these situations. Now, going to the caveat. 6 months or a year in to a shit-headed fan situation, that's a little different. Because it's probably a shakedown. It's probably a shakedown from whoever. If it's 6 months into a shit hit the fan, once again, you have to understand what kind of scenario is this. Do we still have law and order? Is there still a government in play? Do we still have the Constitution in play? Are we still a civilized nation? Why are you driving anyway? So, and if you're driving anywhere, why are you by yourself? If it's 6 months in, I mean, you can go on and on and on. What if this shit to death? If it's like Mad Max, why are you going alone? You better not be alone. If you are, you're gonna catch hell. It's best to be surreptitious and stealthy and gather intel. So you better have your optics out constantly, checking the area ahead of you and around you and behind you for any kind of threat. Because anything and everything could be a threat, or it could be used to your advantage. So noticing that you have this checkpoint, let's just say, Mad Max Tiowaki. It's gone. There's no government. It's free for all. No, I'm not going through that checkpoint. No, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to camp out. I'm going to be a camper and I'm going to hang out. I'm going to pull off somewhere and way, way far away, get some distance between them and me. And I'm going to if I'm in a vehicle, which I guess that's what we're talking about here. You're in a vehicle. I'm gonna conceal that vehicle, and I'm gonna go forward, and I'm gonna try to gather intel as much as I can without being spotted. I'm not gonna be spotted, and that if that means gillying up and putting the mud on my face, then that's what's up. Native and devout prepper there, Mr. Native. You guys don't know this, but he was a scout. So he was a scout in the Army. Their mission statement is never be seen. Don't ever be seen. So I too adopt that same principle and discipline, especially if if I don't have to. Everybody's always talking about, well, I'm just going to shoot my way through. Well, no, you're going to die. Chances are you're going to die. You're going to catch one. You're going to catch. It's all it takes is one, and then you're out of the fight. That's it. So, if I have a mag, if I have a mag or something, then we can coordinate and possibly figure these guys out. Do we hit them? Do we sneak in and circle them and take them out in the dead of night between the hours of 3 and 5, because that's when everybody sleeps. That's when humans sleep the most soundest, and that's when you're really getting kind of woozy if you're standing watch and standing guard. Do some sentry removal techniques. That's another video. That's a good video. I taught that in the Marine Corps. Hip pocket classes. Anyway, yeah. So is that something that we can do, or do we watch them, see where they go, what their setup is? Do we make contact? Do we mark them as a threat and file that for later use, because if it's shift time, then it's you better go military, bro. Your mag better be military. If you're gonna move out, you better be military. You better be. It's full on tactics. It is 100% tactics. There's no lollygagging. There's no lackadaisicalness. Head is on a swivel, and all threats must be addressed. So that's the way it is. 6 months in, is there rule of law? Is there? Who knows? So once again, situation would dictate. Scenario 2. So this is scenario 2. Get to your bug out location, and your mag denies your entry. That's unfortunate. That would be very unfortunate. I guess you're saying that when you got to your bug out location, they got there before you, and they said, no, you're not allowed in. That's a big problem. I would try to negotiate, because obviously we're face to face and we're talking. If there's a threat and they pull aggro on me and put muzzles in my direction, then yeah, I'm gonna back away and I'm gonna walk away. Be like, all right, fine, see you later, and sneak around the back. And then you have to weigh your options. In any kind of bug out location, mag, especially if a mag. I mean, if that's a total betrayal right there. That's a hard pill to swallow for most people. And do you get retribution? Do you go for the vengeance? Does it destroy you in the process, or do you move on? Are you able to move on? That's another question. If your mag says, no, we don't want you here, and you leave, can you leave? Can you make it out on your own? Do you try to seek out another mag? That too can be problematic. Trying to make contact, negotiations with someone or a group is going to be very problematic, especially in a shift event, because it's basically going to be the Wild Wild West. They're going to shoot first and ask questions later. So that's a difficult one. If you have to, then you have to. You have to go out on your own. Basically say fuck you and leave. If you stick around, because they know who you are. Me, if my mag betrayed me, because I've trained my mag. I am the reason for most of their knowledge and most of their training. And my cat is going crazy. Oh, shit. Hey, hang in there. You okay? What's the matter? Oh, shit. You okay? You okay? Yeah. It's okay. Oh, fuck. It's okay, buddy. Relax, relax. You okay? Okay. Crazy cat. Crazy cat time. Anyway, that's a big cat too. Big Russian blue. It's got claws like my finger like this. He acts a fool. Step back. Anyway, back to this whole mag thing. Yeah, I mean, you might have to just run away. Live to fight another day. Scenario 3. Bug out location has been ransacked and or burnt down. Ouch. Well, with any kind of bug out location, I follow the PACE. Primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency. And so that in itself is a quantifying algebraic notation that goes to infinity and beyond. This is as far as you want to go. But in bug out locations, yeah, it's good to have 4. Your primary, my primary, is somebody's house, which is actually somebody there. It's a a Vietnam vet, and we met in the VFW. And got to talk and got to know each other. We've known each other for years, and I trust him and he trusts me, and he has the place, and we fortify it, and we've built up a nice little area that the mag, there's about 4 or 5 of us, possibly 7 to 10, but at this point in time it's getting smaller and smaller. So before I would go to the primary, there would be a phone call, there would be contact, or he would just know that I'm on my way. I'm going to go get one other person, and then we're going to link up with maybe another person and head to the primary, and we're going to be in contact with them. Hopefully we have contact. We do have comms at the other guy's house. I don't have comms. All I have is this silly ass phone, which may or may not work. Hopefully it will. Texting usually works. Email and computers, things of that nature. But yeah, contacts, primary, we're on our way. Reach out and now if primary gets contact and is compromised, then yeah, he's going to try to tell us, hey, we're getting lit up over here, and one of 2 things are going to happen. He's either going to bug out. He's probably going to stay and fight. And then depending on how far away we are, we're going to reinforce and try to defend and clear the area of anything. But if we get there and the place has been ransacked and burned down, that means that he is either expired and failed, or he is exfilled and in the alternate location, which we know where the alternate location is. No. I fed my dog like 10 times already today. She's still begging. So, no, don't look at me like that. Come on. Puppy dog eyes. Oh, I'm hungry. They're always hungry. So, that's that. All right. Scenario 4. You go to your bug out location and it's occupied and it's shit hit the fan. Yeah. Well, same thing with the with the checkpoint or any kind of threat. If it's a primary, then we already know that it's going to be compromised or not. Alternative, which is probably what this is going to be an alternative, we're always going to scout it. We're always going to scout it out first. You're going to make a recon of the area, around the area, to make sure there's no one around, and the main element is going to be in a patrol base somewhere, pulled off, and security and weapons outboard, 100%, that kind of thing, standing by for the word that the area is clear. Surrounding area is clear. You might have to have a team, a mag that goes in and does that, or a group, maybe a fire team size, or maybe a two-man group, or something of that nature. One person with every group must have comms. That's the way it works. That's the way it has to work. Be it your two-way radios, your CB radios, things of that nature. We haven't talked about comms, have we? No. So if you're trying to be clandestine and surreptitious, if you have radios, if you have these cheap little Baofangs or a CB radio or something of that nature, you're going to have your SOPs, and you're going to be able to you're going to talk in ways that nobody can understand you outside of your group. For instance, if I said 2 go to red. What? 2 go to red. I'm just hypothetically saying this because I don't want to give away our SOPs. But you see the point. Or 1 go to starboard, 2 go to red, 2 go to alert, 1 go to starboard, 1 go to rear, 3 go to rear. Radio check. Stand by. We've got a funky horse. I mean, just you got these SOPs set up already, so you're going to be using those. Now, when you go loud, or if you're going kinetic, who cares? 2 flank left, flank right. Boom. You go. You're gonna be barking those orders anyway. So it doesn't matter who's listening, because you're initiating and you're executing. You're going loud, you're going kinetic. So it doesn't matter. And you can go exfil, rally point. Boom, and you're gone. So hasty ambushes, setting up ambushes. You're gonna. And another thing is to have comms that are weak enough, strong enough, just for your operating area that your group is in. These little radios, they go 3 to 5 miles. If you're in the woods, it's going to be like 1 mile, and you're not going to be operating more than 1 mile. If you need to go out farther, then you're going to have some kind of more elaborate setup for comms. Anyway, bug out locations occupied. What do you do? So get on comms, and this has to be an alternate or a contingency or an emergency location for your mag or yourself. You're going to go there, and you're going to snoop and poop, and you're going to see what's going on. Is it a family? Are they vulnerable? Or how are you going to approach this? Are they armed? Do they know what the hell they're doing? You're going to give a salute report: size, activity, location, time, unit, equipment. You're going to take all that into play, and you're going to assess them. And are you going to surround them in the middle of the night and go, bound and gag? Or are you going to go hot? Are you going to go with suppressors? Are you going to go sink? Or are you just going to roll up on them and go, "Hey, family, I know you. I know you're looking for help, and you're in a bug out location. You're in our bug out location. Maybe it's just a family. A man with his wife and kids, or 2 or 3 families. Maybe they have a double barrel shotgun for protection. That's all they got. So overwhelming force negotiation. You can send a negotiator, or you can yell out negotiations. I mean, if you got an RC car, you can roll out the RC car with the little two-way radio and go, a little sign, hey, pick me up and talk. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Hey, you're in our bug out location, right? You're completely surrounded by a superior force with superior firepower. We advise you to put down your weapons, lay down on your face, and stand by. See what happens. Because that's your bug out location. That's your plan. And then you can go from there. Any type of they're gonna have to be detained, confined, and interrogated later at a later date. So that's scenario 4. Scenario 5. I don't know if we have time for this one. I'm gonna keep it kind of short. It's 25, but yeah, I'm gonna touch on this one because I actually do. Scenario 5: invasion. Welcomed by the U.S. government on the right coast or the left coast. But I'm on the right coast, so we actually do have that threat here. But we have a huge, military presence here, and that's But if they're going to be welcoming us, they're going to be welcoming the invasion force. That's a big problem. So that means all bets are off. Government is no longer a viable option. It's no longer a viable security level, security barrier for us. I can only imagine or assume that it's maybe UN troops or Chinese or Russians, which is very. That's the only way they can get there. That's the only way they can get here is if we open the door and let them in, because the whole world knows that we are basically. It is for centuries, 245 centuries, close to 150 centuries, 245 years, I'm sorry. 245 years to roughly about 100 years, 150 years. The whole world kind of knows that we just can't invade U.S. We just can't. Can't do it. It's impossible. We're going to see you coming and we're going to blow you out of the water or out of the sky. Our military is that badass. We have the biggest navy in the world. We have the biggest air force in the world. We have the most capabilities of anyone in the whole world. So if our military, or our government and military give up and let the invasion come in, it's going to be a shit show because Yamamoto gave a briefing to the Emperor of Japan when he sent Prime Minister Yamamoto into America to spy on us and to come back with a report to see if we could be invaded by Japan because they really wanted to invade us. They were bold like that, kamikaze, all that shit. So Yamamoto came back and gave the Emperor the famous quote, "Do not invade America. You cannot invade America. If you do, there will be a gun behind every blade of grass." So we have a lot of grass here. We have a lot of guns. So that being said, it's going to be a shit show. Yeah. What do I do? Well, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Do I stand and fight or do I run and hide? If there's going to be a mass exodus anyway. There usually is anytime there's any kind of armed conflict of that nature, which I've seen in Africa. It's not good, and people are on a free for all, balls to the wall run for the hills, and they are running for the hills. I would like to say that I would stand and fight, but you just don't know. I like what Neda said, and that makes sense. Am I going to be the only one? Chances are no. But a lot of people are going to be trying to leave to save their families, that's family first, so that's what they're going to be doing. There might be some looting and fighting, looting and stuff like that, some mischief and mayhem going on from the local population. But even the homeless are going to be running. Even the animals will be running. they're going to be the first to run. Any type of situation of that nature. So yeah, it's already 30 minutes. I would like if there is a organized resistance, yes, I would definitely stay and fight and do my best and bring the pain. But if there is no organized resistance, I'm out. I'm out. I'm going west, young man, and see what happens there. So I mean, we can always just regroup. You don't retreat. You just regroup. So I'm going to leave it there. Maybe part 2. This is Mad Shad signing out.